In 1942, an 11-year-old boy used his savings to buy his first stock. He had been studying business, reading financial reports, and thinking about money since he was a small child. But this was his first real decision. 3 shares of a company. $38 total. The stock went down almost immediately. He waited. He watched. Then he sold when it recovered, making a small profit. That boy was Warren Buffett. Today he is considered the greatest investor in history. His company, Berkshire Hathaway, is worth hundreds of billions of dollars. He has given away much of his fortune to charity. What makes him remarkable is not just his wealth. It is how he lives. He still lives in the same house he bought in 1958. He eats simple food. He reads 5 to 6 hours every single day. In a world that moves fast and spends freely, Buffett has always moved slowly and spent carefully. But none of that is what makes him most interesting. Welcome back to Gentle Wisdom. Today I want to tell you about how Warren Buffett makes decisions. Not how he invests, how he thinks, how he decides. Because the decisions came before the wealth, and the thinking came before the decisions. And the thinking is something you can learn. Chapter 1: Simple Rules Beat Complex Strategies. Here is the first thing that surprises most people about Warren Buffett. His decision-making rules are extraordinarily simple. He has said many times that he will not invest in a business he does not understand. He does not try to predict markets. He does not follow trends. He does not listen to what other people are excited about. He asks 3 questions. Do I understand this business? Does it have a strong advantage over competitors? Is the price reasonable? If the answer to all 3 is yes, he considers it. If the answer to any one is no, he passes. That is almost the entire system. 3 questions. Applied consistently. Over many decades. Most people make complex decisions using complex systems. They gather enormous amounts of information. They consider many factors. They build elaborate analyses. Buffett does the opposite. He narrows everything down to the essential questions. And he refuses to act when the answers are unclear. Charlie Munger, Buffett's longtime partner and the subject of Poor Charlie's Almanac, described this approach as inverting the problem. Instead of asking what will make this succeed, ask what could make this fail. Eliminate the obvious failures. What remains is worth considering. Simplicity is not a limitation. It is a discipline. And discipline, applied consistently over time, produces extraordinary results. Chapter 2: Think in decades, not days. Here is the second principle that separates Buffett's thinking from almost everyone else's. He thinks in decades, not quarters, not years, decades. When he buys something, he thinks about how it will perform not next year, but 20 years from now. He famously said that his favorite holding period is forever. This sounds simple. It is not. It requires tolerating short-term discomfort, uncertainty, and apparent setbacks without changing course. Most people cannot do this. When something drops in value, they sell. When something seems slow, they move on. They optimize for the short term and sacrifice the long-term compounding that creates real wealth. Buffett's first investment, those 3 shares at $38 each, would be worth an extraordinary amount today if held. He sold early and made a small profit instead. He later described this as a lesson in opportunity cost. The price of impatience is not just the loss of patience itself. It is everything that patience would have produced. Long-term thinking is one of the rarest human abilities. And in a world that rewards immediate results, it is also one of the most valuable. Chapter 3: The Power of No. Here is the third and perhaps most important principle. Warren Buffett says no to almost everything. He receives hundreds of investment proposals every year. He turns down almost all of them. He has said that the difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. This sounds counterintuitive. More opportunities should mean more success. But Buffett understands something deeper. Every yes comes with a cost. The cost of time, attention, and energy that could have gone to something better. By saying no to almost everything, he preserves his resources for the rare opportunities that genuinely meet his criteria. And when those opportunities appear, he acts decisively. This principle applies far beyond investing. Every commitment you make limits your ability to pursue something better. Every yes is a no to something else. The discipline to say no, to resist the average opportunity in order to be ready for the exceptional one, is one of the most powerful habits you can build. Chapter 4. The thinking is available to you. Here is the final truth. You will probably never have Warren Buffett's wealth. That is not the point. But you can have his thinking, his patience, his simplicity, his willingness to wait, his discipline to say no. These are not genetic gifts. They are habits built over decades of reading, thinking, and practicing. Ask simple questions before every major decision. Do I truly understand this? Does it align with my values? Is this the best use of my time and attention? Think further ahead than feels comfortable. Ask not what this will look like next month, but what it will look like in 10 years. Say no more than feels natural. Protect your time and attention for what genuinely matters. The best decisions come from a calm mind, clear values, and the patience to wait. That is available to you. Starting today, train your mind and keep becoming.